Hello and thank you for joining me on a very, very lovely day. I am not in Florida anymore. I have traveled to the Caribbean. I am in Aruba, and this is stop 3 on my cruise on the Celebrity Eclipse, I believe it is. Yeah, sorry I didn't make a video for you guys for a little while, but I had to sort of shut it down. I've been working a lot. Workload has been overwhelming for me, so me and my wife decided to take a little bit of a cruise. Since I wanted not to deprive you guys of some really good automotive content, I decided that I would take a nice tour of Aruba, and I would do so on a quite interesting looking vehicle. And I don't think that we have them in America. I don't even think that these are legal in America, but check that out. I don't know if you can really see this. Check these things out. So these are Trikes, and they have like a traditional manual transmission. Actually, well, these look like they're automatic. I want to see if they have a manual one.
I want that one. Well, I don't want damn words.
Let's do a little walk around. So here it is. This is a custom-built Trike. It does have an automatic transmission, but it's actually not that bad. I just did a little preliminary drive just to get used to the controls. It's very much like a scooter. It has a hand throttle right here and foot brake right there. There's actually no hand brake, but that's I guess par for the course. It's not bad. It's really interesting. I'm going to be doing a tour for a few hours on this. And I believe the engine, which is back there, so kind of not mid-engine, it's like kind of mid-rear engine. Yeah, this is the engine, I believe. Well, what was told to me was a 1.6 liter Mitsubishi 4-cylinder, and it's enough for this because it doesn't really weigh anything. You can see it's just a kind of a custom-built chassis. The front is its own thing. It's just a motorcycle, and the back is, I'm guessing it goes into a regular differential with some CV axles in the back and some adjustable suspension. Likely Chinese made, but it looks pretty cool. These are the newer ones. I was told that they had manual ones, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. It should be interesting. I'm going to try to get a mount on here. Unfortunately, my GoPro didn't want to take a charge last night, so I'm going to have my wife, who will be sitting in the back, kind of do this camera person role today. And hopefully we'll get some good footage, but this thing should be fun. Even if I don't get some footage, you just see some nice rolling shots. Actually, look at this. This cool suspension. I wonder if these could actually be made in the States. I mean, this would be the perfect car for like cruising on the beach in Florida. I don't know, Florida wouldn't really give a crap. And there's actually a decent amount of trunk space as well, so no idea how much this costs and no idea what the power output is. You can see the brakes are a little I think they're a little puny for this application, but whatever, it's fine. So without further ado, let's get on the road.
So this experience is unlike anything I've felt before. This foot brake is not powered at all, so it's just dictated, the braking force is dictated by how much pressure my foot can give. And this hand throttle, it's just ever so slightly sluggish. So this engine is not suited for this chassis very well, but I'm just kind of getting used to it a little bit, and also first time driving in Aruba, driving in the Caribbean, that matter. Try to beat this light, but this is so much fun. The guy in front of us just has a blinker on, probably not used to the cancel feature on the blinker. But no matter, because this is freaking awesome. So I'm not really paying too much attention to the gauges right here, because after all, it's an automatic transmission. And I hope you guys can hear me because the wind is picking up something fierce. drive in a motorcycle, especially if you have no face protection. If you're doing 30 miles an hour or anything faster than 30 miles an hour, it feels like you're going a million. And this is me just slightly hitting the throttle. Woo! I was so wrong. Because when you get it up to speed, it makes a lot of sense. And I don't really miss the manual transmission that much. The automatic is, you don't really need to go that fast. And I don't think I'd need to be shifting anyway because I have to pay a lot of attention to the road. But even on this straight road and this scenic drive, it just, I don't know, it gives you a really good appreciation for doing these sorts of things in life. Since this isn't a reverse trike like a Polaris slingshot, this is actually a trike like a Reliant Robin. I doubt this would do well in the twisties, and this would likely tip over if I gave it any gas, you know, on a really tight bend. But this is sort of what it's made to do. It's made for cruising. It's made to just soak up the sights in a way where you have 360 degrees of visibility and no chance of falling over like you would on a scooter or a motorcycle. So I think we're going to make a left going onto like a beach drive over here. Not sure where this tour is headed. I know we're going to hit some stops. We're going to go to you know, separate ends of the island. And I did take a tour yesterday, and we did see some of the sights in a more off-road tour. But I wanted to clue you in on what I'm doing now with an actual car that I'm actually driving in a country that I don't call home. Hope my wife's doing all right back there. How are you? Good? One thing some people don't know about the Caribbean islands, especially ones like the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, is that there's a fair bit of desert-like vegetation. So this looks more like Arizona than it does a jungle like you'd find in South America. Right now we're headed to this lighthouse. It's sort of a beacon on one side of the island. Hope my collar's not popped. I don't want to look like a douchebag. So we are here. This is the California Lighthouse. The tour guide explained to us why it was called the California Lighthouse, but I sort of spaced out on it because I was just looking at these trikes and the tour guide's car, which is looks like a dune buggy made out of 2.0 Volkswagen. But that's not important right now because if you come around here, I want to show you what this is, sort of the layout of this unique trike situation. So check this out. This is more like a scooter, like a motorcycle. You have the engine kill switch right here. You have the engine start up here. You have your headlights. You have your non-canceling. That's searching for the word in my head. Non-canceling turn signals, and you have the horn, which is quite a beefy horn. I don't want to scare the people around here, but yeah, it's not befitting something of this size. Here is a traditional. Looks like, I'm not sure how many speeds there are, probably a 4-speed automatic, mated to that 1.6 liter Mitsubishi 4-cylinder engine. And you have your basic fuel gauge and temperature. We're not going to have to worry about that because this is a tour. Your RPM and your speedo. But this is a lot of fun. I think this is probably Chinese made, but the craftsmanship is not bad. I mean, it's not rattling. I know they said that this was a newer trike,
But yeah, everything sort of makes sense. The position is very comfortable. I'm 6'1", and I can just lean back and reach all the controls. The foot brake is right within reach. I like this a lot. And I mean, maybe some of you could tell me how much this costs, because why not? Maybe we could get one in the United States of America. Another interesting thing about Aruba is that usually all the roads are very straight, except for the roads in this kind of desert landscape. These seem to be quite twisty, and yeah, this is simply awesome. It's a little weird because with the Trike, you have one wheel in the middle and two wheels on the other side, so if there's a pothole in the road, you are gonna hit it. It doesn't matter where it is. You can't avoid the pothole. You can do this weird thing where you can sort of grab the car between the front wheel and it's very, very hard, but let's just say you're gonna hit this pothole. If you take a look at this vegetation, the cacti around us, they look like the saguaro cactuses of the saguaro cacti of Death Valley, of Arizona, stuff like that. It's a very dry, arid climate, even though we are in the midst of Aruba's rainy season right now. They are quite protected. This island is quite protected from hurricanes. Hurricane Matthew wasn't really close to Aruba, even though it got within 200 miles of its coast. I think they had some winds and whatnot, but everything looks pretty much intact, and yeah, it allows for great days like this. Aruba doesn't have any helmet laws, which is why all the Trikes here all the people on the Trikes aren't wearing any helmets. Not sure that's the smartest decision in the world, considering that you could have potential liability on your hands, but it allows you greater freedom, I guess. It also allows you a greater possibility of bugs getting in your mouth, especially if you're talking as much as I am. And on these dusty roads, which does get a lot of dust in your mouth. So we're going around these back roads, and it just got smoother, but before it was quite bumpy. And this Trike is handling quite well, considering that these pockmarked roads are sort of everywhere in Aruba. I think I said that this was Chinese made before. It's not. It's actually, it was told by one of the other guys that it's made in Germany, and these things cost upwards of $40,000 US each. So this is basically, I bought my Aston Martin for the price of one of these, which is sort of ridiculous if you think about it, because you can't buy these in America, and I don't even think that you can. I think these are Caribbean only. Wouldn't really make sense anywhere else, especially not in Europe. So even though there is a European style license plate holder up there, so I wonder what the market for these is. I'm gonna let these cars go. We're actually going into traffic now. I'm gonna go now. So now we're headed more into the city. These are local Arubans, and if you look at the cars, they look to be almost completely made up of used JDM cars. The car in front of me is looks like a Honda Accord. There's a Toyota Corolla, a Toyota Altezza, these Hyundais that are Korean, but they're not for the U.S. market. And that's due to Aruba's very lax import laws. And the import laws are, you can basically bring in whatever you want. And bringing in stuff from Japan is oddly cheaper than bringing in stuff from America. The American cars, you don't see them a lot, and
they tend to be the more expensive ones. You do see a lot of Ford Econolines, Ford F-150s, the King Ranch editions, and they're in very good shape. But the used market, the ones, the cars that are made for the more pedestrian people, the more the middle class in Aruba, those are the used JDM cars. And you see a lot of the smaller ones. I don't know if you guys can hear me because of the wind, but something like this, a Suzuki Ignis that we don't get in America. There's a lot of Suzukis, some Daihatsus. A very interesting thing about Aruban car culture is that they love modifying their cars. So I met yesterday a guy, he was a tour guide, his name is Eduardo, and he has a 95 Chevy Camaro Z28, and he modified it and he goes drag racing with it. And that seems to be a recurring theme in Aruba here. There's a lot of drag racing, there's a lot of racing in general. You see a lot of modified cars. There are Evos, there are Skylines, and they all seem to have front mount intercoolers, they all seem to have exhausts. And one of the reasons for that is because Aruba has no emission. It's basically like the Florida of the Caribbean. Even though the Caribbean itself is pretty lax with these laws. There are no emissions laws, so you can put whatever catless exhaust you want, and yeah, have as much power as you want. Sort of like this. One thing to admire about this place is the laid-back culture. Everybody, since this is a very, very small island, it's about 38 square miles. Everybody knows everybody. There's only, I think there's about 100,000 people that live here, but it's a small community and it's an island. So that means that if you piss somebody off, you're likely to see them later on. So that means that people have to work together, and it shows in the culture. People are very nice here, and also, I mean, look at the views, look at the weather. There's not a lot to get pissed off about. You can basically chill at the beach and and sip rum from a coconut. It's all about the simple things in life. Driving a $38,000 Trike through a Caribbean paradise.
We have stopped at our third stop. This is a huge granite rock formation, and Aruba is unique in that it has this sort of rock formations. That, I mean, the Caribbean has a lot of rocky shores, but they're mostly limestone, and this is granite. And you can see this huge sign saying, "Attention! Climbing these stairs are at your own risk." But I think my wife just went up there, so let's go meet her up there. These stairs ain't so bad. This gets a little sketchy if you don't have the right shoes.
Yeah, I'm glad I put my sneakers on.
Did they go in there? Oh yeah, they did. All right.
They went in there?
Yep. Ooh, it's nice and cool in here.
Duck your head right.
Yep. You gotta duck the head. Claustrophobic people, you can skip to the next part. Going up here. View gets better. There's my wife. So up here is a just 360-degree view of Aruba. You can see our cruise ship all the way over there. But this is it's quite a small island. You can sort of see from coast to coast over here. So you can see that's it's a pretty steep drop. It's not bad. Guys, I'm really glad that I could share this with you, and I know that I haven't. If you look down there, this dog just scratching himself. Look at him go. All right, Yeah, I get distracted too easily. I know I haven't been putting out content, and I really want to do that. I do have a new project. I am selling some of my cars, and as soon as I get back in a few weeks, then I will be announcing all that and starting on these new projects. But for now, I'm going to give you updates of what I'm going to do here. I'm not staying in Aruba. Aruba is just one of the many stops on this cruise, and yeah, and then I'll keep you updated. But thanks for watching, and man, I wish you guys could be here with me. So as you can see, I'm sweaty because it's friggin' hot. Not a ton of wind out here in Aruba today, but thank you for joining me today. And as always, if you like this video, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. If you didn't like the video, unlike button is right there. I can't stop you from doing anything you want to do. If you could, give us a like on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter, @APiDA online. Everything will be in the description below. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this view and that trike that I was just on. I'll see you again next time.